Honorable members, can we then go to the next order of the day?
Consideration of Performance Protection Amendment Bill B24B 2016 National Assembly Section 75 and report of Select Committee on Trade and International Relations thereon.
The Honorable Makue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson and members. Maybe we should note that the Performance Protection Act that is at present applicable was adopted in 1967. And this act is meant to provide economic rights and moral rights for actors. This is critical because the performer who is central to the success and any fixation in audiovisual works or sound recordings is usually exploited in the process of his or her performance and very often treated unfairly. We don't need to go far. We have our mother of music on the continent, the ambassador of South Africa, Mam Miriam Makeba, who has not been protected. The target group of this bill, therefore, Chairperson, is to provide actors, musicians, dancers, or other persons who acts or sings or delivers, who declaims, who plays in, or otherwise perform literary works, musical works, artistic works, dramatic works, or traditional works. Honorable Kaula, traditional works. We note that the challenges that this bill is trying to address has plagued our country for centuries. And therefore, we as members of the Select Committee, particularly those in the ANC, who brings this to you with a full support of those members that were in the meeting, wants to say that this atrocities that we are talking about must be addressed. The bill seeks to address the challenges from an outdated bill. It became effective, this outdated bill of 1976-67, before television existed in South Africa. And it is not aligned to global trends and development, as well as other global treaties. Chairperson, we have had the effective participation of the CIPC and also the Copyright Tribunal with the development of this legislation. So once again, Chair, as members of this Fifth Parliament, we are not only looking at producing legislation, but looking at the implementation possibilities of the bill. The CIPC and the Copyright Tribunal gave us the assurance that indeed they will make sure that indeed it happens. Chairperson, with our ratification of the Beijing Treaty, this bill offers great opportunities for South African performers. Chair, we have a big problem with collecting societies in our country. I shared with members of the committee how on Human Rights Day last week, Thursday, I visited the Mr. Santu Mofokeng Ntate. Chairperson is sitting in a wheelchair, and his collecting society has done him in. And he is but one of many actors that not only die, Honorable Khai, as paupers, but attempted to take their own lives because they are not protected. As this Parliament, we are saying that time is over. We are providing protection to those who contribute towards the culture of our society, those who through music make us happy, those who through their performances on television screens and in movies lift us up with our children. Chairperson, therefore, we want to conclude by saying to this House that we have looked very thoroughly at the content of this bill, and we are excited what is contained in it. I therefore thank you for the opportunity to request that we vote in favor of this bill. I present it on behalf of the Select Committee Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Honorable members, that concludes the debate. I shall now put the question, and the question is that the bill be agreed to. In accordance with Rule 63, I shall first allow political parties to make their declarations of votes if they so wish. The DA.
Honourable Chairperson, honourable members, fellow South Africans, the DA acknowledged that there is a great need to update legislation regarding the rights of performers, especially taking international developments into consideration. This bill is not in a condition to be passed and enacted. Rushing through legislation for incentives should not be the objective, but should rather be properly considered and passed in the national interest. South Africa should seek a Performance Protection Act that parallels the Beijing Treaty, the WIPO Performance and Phonogram Treaty. This bill will not meet these benchmarks. The Beijing Treaty and the WPT cover equitable remuneration for performers. This bill undermines and possibly removes freedom of contract to the disadvantage of both the performer and the producer, also making it incredibly difficult for producers to make investment decisions. The bill challenges contractual freedom. The key content of the agreements will be largely determined by the minister, leading to heightened investor anxiety as producers will not have freedom to construct contracts in accordance with the will of the parties. Sections of the bill make rights of authors inalienable and also watertight, that the rights cannot be used, resulting in producers becoming more selective and contracting only with top caliber or safe talent, thereby reducing opportunities for other new artists. While this bill is progress in the right direction, it is not enough to achieve the goals of its intended purpose. The bill gives the minister and the government too much power when it comes to the relationship between an artist and their producer. They understand the hardship faced by performers and artists and why they feel this bill should be supported. However, history has proven that supporting a bad bill have consequences in future. The DA would rather wish to bring forward a private member's bill that would address matters of royalties. It is because of the rushed and sloppy nature of this bill's legislation process, among other factors, that the DA cannot support this bill. I thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, sir. The ANC.
Thank you, Honourable Chairperson. Honourable Chairperson, firstly, I would like to indicate that as a committee we receive lots of emails from the performers who are supporting this bill and encouraging us to pass this bill. Big documents of emails that we receive from the performers. Honourable Chairperson, there's an actor who acted in Emzini Wezinsizwa. I was disappointed when I saw him in a DA t-shirt. I hope he's watching this debate and see what the DA is saying about them. But I will also further invite the performers of South Africa to go to the manifesto of the ANC on page 24 and see what the ANC is saying about the creative workers. Going back to the declaration, the Performance Protection Amendment Bill is about the performer and his or her right to protection and to maximize the economic exploitation of the rights provided in the bill regarding his or her fixated performance. Performers are crucial to the national expression and they form part of our daily existence. They are part of the fabric of society, its heritage and history. The Performance Protection Act of 1967 became effective before television existed in South Africa. and it is not aligned to global trends and developments as well as global treaties. The law is more than 50 years old, as the chairperson of the Select Committee was indicating. The creative industry has become synonymous with the challenges that include unfair contracts, resulting in the continuous signing away of the economic rights by musicians. The performers have not received royalties over time, despite the continued use of their performances. For some performers, their rights to have their images represented as they prefer are violated. The law is not aligned to global trends which impacted on the economic rights they could benefit from South Africa being party to international treaties. Sadly, many of our performers do not reap the benefits they are entitled to and live in poverty despite their fixated performances being repeated on television and even sold overseas to other broadcasters in the audiovisual industry, for example. The content of the bill, the key features of this bill, Honorable Chairperson, of the Performance Protection Amendment Bill include the provision for the Minister...
Honorable Member, your time has expired.
ANC
Thank
support
you.
this bill.
The IFP?
Shanzansi. Ngiyathokoza sihlalo hloniphekile. Ngiqale ngokusho nje ukuthi sihlalo ngiyacabanga ukuthi ufuna simbonge umntwana kwaphinda ngena. Uma ngabe abahlonishwa abafana nomhlonishwa uMakuwe sebekwazi ukukhuluma kahle kanje ngokuvikelwa kwesintu namalungelo amasiko ethu nezinto zethu kusho ukuthi umntwana is a very good teacher, Honorable Makuwe. Having taught you and for you to speak so well and to make that reference to the IFP, I'm very happy. Kodwa ke okubalekile sihlalo ukuthi angisho ukuthi iqembu lenkatha liusekela ngokugcwele lo mthetho sivivinyo. Baxhashazwe abantu bakithi sihlalo. Ikakhulukazi kwisifundazwe engisuka kusona kwaZulu Natal baxhaphazekile abantu bakithi, ikakhulukazi abantu abaxhaphazekile abama-artist, abantu abampisholo. Ngenxa yokungavikeleki kwamalungelo abo ezinto zabo abazisungulele zona bese zithathwa ziyohweba ngaphandle zenze izigidigidi. Abahlonishwa uma bengakhumbula nje ukuthi imbube ike yadala umdonsiswana ungakanani not eSouth Africa kodwa emhlabeni jikelele, isibangwa kodwa ibisungulwe ngumAfrika. Isibangwa ngabangayisungulanga ngenxa ukuthi imithetho ebavikelayo bingekho. Ngesonto edlule sihlalo ngishayela ucingo umholi wamambazo efuna ukuzwa ngalo mthetho sivivinyo ngoba bakhathazekile ama-artist akithi ngokungavikeleki kwezinto zako. Ngifisa ukusho ukuthi ke baMakuwe siyabonga ukuthi nilandele ezinyathelweni zikaMntwana. Iqembu lenkatha liusekela ngokugcwele lo mthetho sivivinya wokuvikela amalungelo kanye namagugu namafa abantu bakithi abampisholo. Siyathokoza.
We will now proceed to the voting. And I would like members to vote in favor, the assistance of the two honorable members to the count, please. Those who are voting in favor, please raise your hands. Thank you very much. Honorable members, those who vote against, please raise your hands. Thank you very much. Those who abstain, please raise your hands. Nobody is abstaining. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Honorable members, 35 members. Thirty-five members have voted in favor. 5 members have voted against. No member has abstained. Therefore, the bill has been agreed to.